cannot make any comments on any of the events taking place within the De Leon estates. We will restrict our comments to the two bodies of the elderly couple found just outside the premises. Yes, over there. No, I do not know who will be the new CEO of the Puente de Juventud Beauty Cream Corporation. All I can comment on are the two bodies and their current autopsy findings. Yes, over there. Mr. Rodriguez, the acting CEO of the corporation, did come in but did not identify the bodies as those of Mr. and Mrs. De Leon. I'm sorry. Did you say something about foul play? No. At this time, it appears the couple died due to natural causes. However, we are waiting on a couple of lab results, but it appears there was no foul play involved. I'd like to call to prove it.
5, 4, 3, 2.
This evening's news is brought to you by Puente de Juventud, the beauty cream that keeps millions of faces young around the world. The eccentric, youthful billionaire, Mr. Juan Ponce de Leon, and his beautiful wife were discovered missing early this morning from their St. Augustine, Florida estate. Miss Teresa Pilar Rodriguez, the acting CEO of the Beauty Cream Corporation, held a private conference with police authorities. The St. Augustine Coroner's Office offered little help in answering questions. Well, that is truly deplorable. Mr. and Mrs. De Leon made their fortune with Puente de Juventud, the best-selling beauty cream in the history of the world. I use it myself. In other news tonight, the Chicago Cubs have finally won the World Series. Well, bless their hearts. I do believe it is about time. Fans young and old took to the streets of Chicago dancing and celebrating. More on that later. And after this brief commercial break, we'll be right back with my personal favorite, the weather.
Cue up music. Go music. 3, 2, 1.
Ay, Dios mío. 530-year-old bodies do not show up every day in the county morgue, even in Florida. I can't believe they cut us from the news. Celebrities, sports, and weather, that's all they care about. I thought I had seen it all. I mean, I've seen them old, young, athletic, decrepit, but I have never seen anything like you before. Rigor mortis, that's normal. No sign of struggle, that's not normal considering the circumstances. All vital organs intact, but not a single protein left, no enzymes, nothing. And your bone density analysis was really strange. The printout came back and said 530 years old. I had my boss double check my results. She just said, hey, Alexa, maybe that Puente cream really does work. I was too chicken to tell her that I've been using it for 3 years. It hasn't done anything for me. Never mind. The report says that you were found by a couple of teenagers near the rear gates of the Ponce de Leon estate. God, I hate that place. But don't worry. I'll get you home somehow. You won't go unclaimed. Both of you. I drove up to the De Leon estate. My '88 Honda Civic offended the valet, who stifled a dry heave and parked it out of sight. I looked out onto 3 football fields worth of lawns and ponds onto Buckingham Palace. Why they bought the former British Royal Palace, moved it brick by brick to Florida, and then renamed it is beyond me. Really pissed off the Queen when they did that. Once inside the palace, whoa. people live here? I waited in the waiting wing. It was bigger than the house I grew up in, counting the front and backyards. Good thing it was big, too, because they left me waiting a long time. I explored the world's largest family portrait gallery. No, it's just not fair. What is her secret? Mrs. De Leon looks as good in her picture with the Beatles as she does with Madonna. You know, it's funny, but the older I get, the more I appreciate John Lennon. Oh, and there is Mr. De Leon shaking Martin Luther King Jr.'s hand there, and Mother Teresa's there. Oh my God, he makes her look ancient. I mean, look at that skin. But she's like the happiest person in this whole gallery. Oh my God, that cannot be them next to Dick Clark. Oh, judging from the hair and outfits, that's got to be his mom and dad. Family resemblance is impressive. Ew, maybe he did marry his mother. I hate soon. May I help you? Teresa Pilar Rodriguez, the world's richest woman, pierced my Freudian reverie. Yeah. ¿En qué puedo servirle? Miss Rodriguez had mastered the art of stabbing people with questions. I guess she thought that my inarticulate stuttering meant that I didn't speak English and she was going to have to kill me in Spanish. Oh, God. She's so intimidating. She's rich. She's the CEO of the world's largest corporation. She's intelligent. And to make things really, really intolerable, she's beautiful, stunning, former supermodel. I feel like the human equivalent of my '88 Honda. I'm here from the county to do a preliminary investigation. ID, please. You're not an MD. You must be some sort of assistant. Oh, no, ma'am. I'm a full-fledged forensic pathologist. The grounds have already been searched. The police brought the 2 bodies to my attention. Good God, you really think we can control everything that happens to the stray onlookers that loiter around the rear gate? You know, I remember when you were on the cover of Vogue and Vanity Fair at the same time, maybe 8 years ago. Not that long, really. Time flies. That is an eternity for a supermodel. Oh, you still look great, though. Must help, huh? I don't need help. Well, I never said you did. You implied it. No, I paid you a compliment. Bad form. I'm sorry. I am going to have to ask you to leave. I have a warrant. I don't have to leave, I think. A warrant. What is the name on the municipal building where the police department, the mayor's office, and the coroner's office, among other things, is located? The De Leon Municipal Complex. Thank you. I'll have security escort you out so you don't get lost. Good day. And with a graceful turn worthy of a lingerie model, she left my remains. What was I supposed to do? Fight? Argue? Get my quiet little office in trouble? And I sat there in the waiting wing, flustered, hurt, humiliated, imagining hot flashes. And of course, feeling really, really ugly compared to the supermodel turned beauty cream queen. This way, ma'am. Alexa? No way. This can't be happening. Javier? What are you doing here? I thought you were still playing for the NFL. Well, I was, till a knee injury in my 3rd season kind of cut all that short. So I got into the bodyguard business. It's easier on the knees that way, most of the time. I didn't do it, though. Do what? I was off when they disappeared. Oh, no, Javier, I hear about the elderly couple. Yeah, I heard about that this morning. Cops grilled me on that one, too. Why you? Well, they grill all the help that come and go through that entrance. You gonna grill me, too? We grilled each other the whole way back to the recuperating ballet. I hadn't seen Javier since I did work study with the Miami Hurricanes as a physical therapist. I was the first student to ever get that job, and Javier was their Heisman Trophy-winning running back. But he got drafted by the Minnesota Vikings, and I got into medical school down here. I wondered what would have happened if I had gone to Minnesota with Javier. I had to quit medical school because I ran out of money. And I remember arguing all hours of the night that my path is a surer bet because doctors last longer than football players. And him yelling at me that it was a once-in-a-lifetime chance and I gotta take it. You can always be a doctor. I can only be a pro while I'm still young. Sorry about your knee, Javier, but you know, the years have made you calmer. You don't seem so ready to dump Gatorade on everyone around you or hide things in the ice machine. You know, Alexa, you're a lot easier to talk to now that you're over grades and applications and you're working almost normal hours for the first time in your life. So, you know, with all this free time, would you like to have dinner with me tonight? Yes. It's only dinner. I've gotten to the point where pulling out the gray hairs is not an option. I don't want to add thinning hair to my litany of beauty woes. I have crow's feet and I still get pimples. You can see I've laughed and cried a lot, and you can tell when I'm about to PMS, at least while I'm on this side of menopause. Being in the medical arts, as I like to call it, I know about exercise. I follow the advice of my fitness and beauty magazines. I buy the damn face cream. I shove it onto my face and neck, and you know what? I still get wrinkles. There, I said it. It's out there. Wrinkles, gray hair. Time is marching across my face and body like Sherman to Atlanta. It ain't pretty. Time has been good to Javier, though. He looks distinguished, seasoned like a fine wine. I couldn't take him at 21 again. I'd shoot him, I would. Now, what do I wear to dinner? Well, I want to look good, but not desperate. I want to look trendy and vogue without looking like a Britney Spears wannabe. I want to look mature and elegant. Ooh, without looking prudish. I want to be able to walk. God help me. Is there anything in between MTV and partially retired librarian? T-shirt, jeans, pretty sandals. Hey, this is Florida. This is as dressed up as I get. At dinner, I feel giddy, like a kid again. Who would have thought? I thought I was too old for this. Apparently not. That's a good sign. It eases the pain of the crow's feet pimple combination. So, what is with Teresa Pilar Rodriguez that she's so sensitive? I mean, what does she have to worry about? She's always been like that. She was like that before I started, and she will be like that long after I'm gone. That's not the answer I was looking for. So, what's it like working for the De Leons? It's like working for a couple of 2-year-olds. Nah, it's not that bad. But, you know, I see things that I don't want to or that I shouldn't. Like once, carajo. Nah, never mind. I shouldn't say. It's too stupid. No, go on, Javier. Really, I won't tell anyone. I promise. Bueno, pues, about a year ago, they bought a bunch of antiques at some auction place or something. You know, really heavy old dresses that someone famous owned, and the mover stuck one of those dresses up against his big ugly painting. You know, the one where the guy lets the paint can drip all over the picture and then he calls it art and sells it to some idiot for thousands of dollars. Oh, Andy Warhol? No, the other guy, not so weird looking. Jackson Pollock, that's him. Javier remembers some art history. It's a miracle! Getting him to study for the final was a battle. He had to ace it to stay on the team. Can't let him see I drifted off. Anyway, I'm walking down the hall, to score a little snack from Albertina, the chef. And I see this painting tapping against the dresser. And I get a little scared, because I always thought this place must be haunted or something, so many beheadings and stuff. So I start to say the Hail Mary, and the painting says, Javier, is that you? And I said, yeah. Well, it turns out it's the mister, and he's stuck behind the painting. So I move the dresser, and he is red and sweaty and loco pero loquísimo. And I'm just curious, so I take a look behind the painting, and I see this room. And he grabs me by the collar and shit, and I wanted to punch him, but I don't do that no more. And he made me promise never to tell anyone about this room ever. Is that paranoid or what? They're like this all the time. Javier, do the police know about this room? Well, I didn't tell them. Why didn't you tell the police? I don't trust them. Ever since what happened to my brother. I couldn't blame Javier. Down here, the law tends to blame dark-skinned Cubans and forgive light-skinned Cubans. So when Javier's brother and his friend got caught shoplifting, Javier's brother went to jail, and the friend got 20 hours of community service. Same store, same baseballs. Time doesn't heal all wounds completely. Do you think they're still in there right now and nobody knows about it? Ay, nena, that's the first place I checked before the cops got there. Man, that room is a trip. I saw all these old black and white pictures of them with these famous people like, Orson Welles and that makeup guy from Hollywood, Max Factor, and a lot of other old timers. Man, it's like the golden ages in there. That was in the 20s or 30s, huh? I am surprised Javier picked up on this detail. I'm impressed, and I tell him. See? I pay attention to cultural shit. They've been together so long, you would think she would loosen up by now, give the guy a little space or something. She's like this hawk, guarding him all the time. Javier, are you sure it's them in the pictures and not his parents or her parents? Well, yeah, I'm sure. I mean, one night, he was drunker than usual, and he started going on and on about how, back in the day, his good friend Max made all this money in makeup because of Hollywood, And then his other friend, Orson, taught him about the power of this new thing, radio. And that's when he decided to start marketing his beauty cream big time. You don't use that shit, do you? Oh, no. Hey, what? I don't anymore. While Javier chatted away about the De Leon's pathological fascination with Hollywood, I was beginning to wonder, how is it possible that Dick Clark and the De Leons had escaped Time's march? Time caught up with Dick Clark eventually, but not the De Leons. I beamed back into the conversation just in time to hear Javier say, "You still do that? I hate that. Where do you go? Am I boring you?" No, Javier, no. You made me think. Isn't it unnatural that your employers have been in this good shape forever? Like, since before we were born? So they have work done. Big deal. All these rich people do it. Teresa does it all the time. She's like the Botox queen. It's true. Javier, you can only have so much work done before you just get old and die. So they got good genes. Coño, I just thought of something. In the Orson Welles picture, they look like they're 25, maybe 30, and Orson was thin. So that was a long time ago, like 70 years or something, and 25 and 70 is 95. Carajo, we look older than they do. Man, I would do anything to be 25 again. If I could just have one more shot at the pros. I have yet. You still got it. Ave Maria Santísima! He is not supposed to hear that! He's supposed to go on guessing like the rest of us! go bald. Some of us are in great shape like him and look like they could keep up with anyone at any time, in any way. Some of us are smart, some of us are talented, some of us know how to make each other laugh, the ultimate aphrodisiac. But most of us never hear it, so we go on through life oblivious. Not a clue. I shouldn't have given him that edge. Well, thanks. You know, you're not doing too bad yourself. Thanks. And then we have the awkward pause where I pray I don't say anything personally embarrassing. Okay, good. It passed. Well, Javier, this has been really fun. We should do it again sometime. And then Javier uttered the magic words. Well, I got tomorrow off, and the Botox queen is due for another treatment, so she shouldn't be a problem. She usually takes a couple days off, you know, till the swelling goes down. You really need to see this room. Jackpot on so many levels! My head is spinning and my heart is pounding! Once again, what do I wear? Oh, I'm there on business, sort of. I mean, this is sort of a date, too, in a way. Oh, maybe he's in deep and he needs my help. I mean, they were his employers. He must feel something for them. Oh, I hope he likes me. I do. Oh, God, I have nothing to wear. Oh. And I can't believe my boss closed the case on my John and Jane Doe. The labs came back and said food poisoning, Clostridium botulinum type A. I swear, I examined the contents of their stomachs. I didn't find any food, no bad eggs, nothing. Dry as a desert. The police are very interested, though. So I gave them copies of all my tests. Can't wait till they see the bone density analysis. I didn't tell them anything about the palace or Javier. I'm not saying a thing about Javier until I know what is going on in there with him. What about Javier? Somehow we found our way back together. Okay, reality check. A second date is hardly back together, if this is a date. I mean, sometimes I wondered if it was love, or did he have to pass his classes to stay on the team? This time I'm not so scared, though. I know I can live without him. I've been doing it for how many years now? Never mind. My biggest problem right now is I don't have anything to wear. Oh, I could wear a suit. It's back in style. Yeah, right. The only suit I have is the one I bought for my med school interviews, and I don't think I could yank this unzipped skirt over my fat ass. Why I keep this thing? I don't know. It's not like I'll ever be that size again. Oh, shoot! I just need shoes. I do not want to walk across a football field of a lawn in high heels. But high heels make my legs look so sexy. But I could trip and break my ankle. It's hard to look sexy when you've just broken your ankle. That's my problem. How do I know what to wear when I don't even know where I'm going with all of this? I'm wearing what I'm wearing, and that's it. End of story. Que salga el sol por donde salga. Oh yeah, lipstick, makeup, accessories. Oh, accessories. I can't face accessories now. All right, yeah, I should have accessorized. Back at Buckingham Palace, Che de Leon. The valet seems prepared for me. He dons protective rubber gloves and pilots my car away. Thanks a lot. Javier looks happy to see me. He looks a little embarrassed when he explains we have to go in through the rear entrance because all the help and their guests come and go through this obscured entrance. I see him smile when I tell him I don't mind at all. We enter through a kitchen the size of a battleship. Albertina, the chef, wields a cleaver and barks commands at a small army of cooks whizzing from appliance to appliance. You, avec that, Now. Oh, what is this? Javier in his day off? Impossible! Javier is never here in his day off. And you always steal a little snack as you come and go from the kitchen. Watch out, my friend. One day I shall catch you and chop off your little fingers. Oh, is it? Well. This explains your lunch request. La la. Très bien. She must be important because you never bring the other ones around. Oh, look, he's blushing. You know, Albertina, the last time I saw Javier blush was after an Orange Bowl game where a female reporter arrived a little early for the interviews, and she caught Javier and his fellow running backs doing their traditional victory dance. And we I know this American custom. We did like the to the Grecian hand, but with little towels, no? No towels. Javier pulls me in the direction of the stern of this battleship kitchen. Yours better be damn good, that's all I have to say. Javier, you are so sensitive. Hey, look who's talking. You didn't talk to me for a week after that thing with the ice machine. That thing was my bra, and you had no right to hide it in the ice machine, tell the team I had discovered a cure for concussions, and then demonstrate by wearing it on your head. Okay, maybe I overreacted. And we both laugh at how silly we used to be. Javier is temporarily paralyzed. The spectral figure of a butler glides into view. Rodrigo, the butler, who has obviously never experienced laughter before, glides closer. What on earth is going on here, Mr. Figueroa? This is most inappropriate. Cease immediately. In fact, let me tell you that we really don't care for your goings-on, Mr. Figueroa. So please do the Mr. and Mrs. a favor and avoid the press conference on the ground floor. Miss Teresa would be most displeased. The last thing we need here is some sort of puerile scandal. Rodrigo glides away as silently as he had arrived. The anxiety in Javier's eyes makes him look older and wearier. Coño, you work in a strange place. You know, in another 3 months, I should have enough saved up for a down payment on a house. That is if they keep me here after this. They hate guests. I mean, they pay good, but they expect you to give up your life when you work here. I don't like them to know my business. Business? Well, you know, private stuff. You really think I'm going to sit Rodrigo down one night and say, hey, Rodi, hombre, I got this little muchachita I really like and I want to impress her and stuff. So is it okay if I show her the secret room that you don't even know about? Because, you know, she's the only person I can trust in this lunatic asylum. And then if things go well, I'll take her to see the sunset from the rose gardens because I've seen you take your girlfriend there and that's the only time I ever seen you smile, hombre. Yeah, well, a good idea. I'll go do that right now. I'm sorry. I'm just not used to this world you live in here. You deal with dead people all the time. What's the difference? Javier, don't lose your job because of this room, okay? You don't have to. I want to. Then we have the awkward pause that follows major accidental revelations where important things were said, but no one can figure out what they imply for the future, and even though the air is not clear, both people pretend it is and move on to any subject, really, to avoid clarifying the revelations that were accidentally revealed. We arrive at the Jackson Pollock painting. It's not his best work. Javier makes sure no one is coming, presses a little button just behind the frame. We hear a click, and Javier pries the frame from the wall. We enter a dark room. Javier closes the painting door and switches on the lights. We're in some sort of cluttered portrait gallery or library. I see the pictures of the De Leons with Orson Welles. They look the same as they did the day they disappeared. I see old sepia pictures, daguerreotypes, paintings. Javier interrupts my train of thought. Alexa, will you, read this for me, please? An ancient leather-bound book with strange Spanish handwriting. Oh no, I can't do this. My mind is racing. What am I doing here? Am I aiding and abetting? What the caveat do we need to leave now? Alexa, if you could do it today, that would be nice. The book. I set the book down on the enormous table and I read, which is not easy. It's in Old Spanish from 1515, antique, impossible handwriting from a lifetime ago. Something about sailing north after the expedition and the hostile Indians of Pascua de la Florida, and a golden city that holds a magic fountain guarded by Amazons. Yo, we should check it out sometime. Ay, Javier. Oh, look! The cover says Don Juan Ponce de Leon. That was that famous explorer. Oh my God, they have the same name. He must have been teased a lot in history class. Well, this is impressive. I hope he donates this to a university or to a museum because this is fake. The signature here doesn't say De Leon. It says Alaminos or something. And donde Alaminos? Who the hell was that? Shh, Alexa. Just read. We lean in towards each other, and I read aloud, translating as I go. It's like he's confessing to us in person from the pages of this journal. November 23rd, 1517. I'm Antonio de Alaminos, the best navigator in the New World. I sailed with Don Juan Ponce de Leon. You know the famous expedition that discovered Pascua de la Florida? At first we thought La Florida was an island. Now they say that it is part of a much bigger continent. But more importantly, it is I who discovered the Gulf Stream. I found it when we tried to reach the Yucatan Peninsula and its legendary cities of gold. But the strong current swept us back to Havana, and Cortés found the golden cities. Amateur. Listen, that is nothing. I can now get back to Spain in 2.5 weeks, faster than the bread spoils. Of course, Juan Ponce gets all the credit because his name is on the charter. All because our wise King Ferdinand, Diosa de Rey la Patria, prefers this half-wit De Leon and his noble blood. One grandmother somehow related to a Conde that owns half of Cádiz. So what? When was the last time he discovered anything? I hate their kind. Now our wise King Ferdinand, Diosa de Rey la Patria, is 60 years old, and his new wife, after Isabella passed away, descansa en paz, pobrecita, is 25 years old. Imagínate, the royal cannon is not firing like it used to. Royal cannon not firing like it used to. I mean, the king has no male heir. Others are in line for the throne. The king, yo soy el boy. Diosa de Rey la Patria. Now our wise King Ferdinand, Diosa de Rey la Patria, is begging Juan Ponce to go find this legendary fountain that restores youth and vitality to the old and sick. It is a popular Indian legend. I've heard it many, many times. Fountain youth. See what I mean? The king, Diosa de Rey la Patria, believes that Juan Ponce can find it to the north of the island of Cuba. I'm Polly. Juan Ponce find anything in purpose?
see if St. Anthony comes down and throws it in Juan Ponce's face.
We hear a click and our hearts stop. I'm frozen. I don't know what to do. Javier pushes me under the table and lunges to shut off the lights. We're in darkness for the longest 10 seconds of our lives. I don't know where he's hiding. The lights come on, and all I can see is a pair of Manolo Vilanic sling-back pumps. I see another pair of shoes, a man's. He's wearing an immaculate pair of pinstriped pants. I hear a thump on the table, a box. Then I hear that voice, and I know it's Teresa. These are old books and pictures in here, mostly junk. I want you to take them all out of here and burn them. The few I want saved, I'll put in this box. And don't touch any of the maps in here. Those I want. You understand this is strictly confidential. The company is depending on you. I say, you sure the De Leons want this? Yes, I'm sure. If anyone asks, you are my new personal assistant. And stay away from that animal, Javier. He's one of the bodyguards. He's been acting strange lately. Do you think he offed them? Well, the police say his alibi checked out, but I don't believe it. And as far as the two bodies are concerned, the police have pumped that mousy little coroner's assistant for every conceivable detail. He must be using her to cover his tracks. I mean, he's not smart enough to think of this on his own. This room depresses me. Come back between 2 a.m. and 4 a.m. That's usually when the security guards are sleeping. I see the well-dressed feet and legs leave. The lights shut off. We wait an eternity before we move. I hear a few books tumble to the ground. Hush, coño, carajo. Javier, mijo, tranquilo. You know I didn't do it, I swear. Javier, I believe you. I know she's lying by her shuffling feet. God, thank God you're obsessed with shoes. We need to look at the maps. There's something important on them. I can feel it. The police need to look at every single map. She has every motive in the world. And more money than God. Don't be stupid. I mean, don't cross her, because it ain't worth it. Let's look in the box. Those are the ones she wants. I pull out one of the two books from the box. It has water stains. It's in much worse shape than the last one. I begin to read. August 1st, 1518.
Juan Ponce now sends me, my brother Manuel, and another navigator, Juan Perez de Ortubio, north to explore parts of La Florida and the islands in search of this stupid fountain, while Juan Ponce stays safely in Havana. It is this horrible season. Please, Huracan, I pray to you, do not destroy our ships!
September 6th, 1518.
Bueno. Hey, you go north. Juan Perez, you go south. I will go west. We will cover more ground quickly. Get this over with before the next storm. Fuente de mierda. Son of shit. Juan Ponce, you want this stupid fountain so badly, go find it yourself. Ugh. Ay, qué calor. Ah, water. Oh, it looks fresh. It smells fresh. Ah. Much better. Much better. Oh, I'm so tired. Oh no, not again. Stupid bladder. Oh. Ah. May grow older and more renowned, but I will live forever. Sweet revenge as I watch him grow old and impotent like our king. Dios salve la patria. Manuel! Oh, I'm glad you're back. Guess what I found, Manuel? Ay, Manuel. Dios. The fountain of youth? See! Drink! No. Drink it! No. I said drink it, tonto! No! I have children I do not want to outlive. Idiota! Oh, how can you turn down immortality like this? I cannot speak with you. I will forbid my wife from speaking to you, or to your wife, even though they are sisters. And my wife is not stupid like you. She will drink it. Well, yes, I will miss my little nieces and nephews, but it is a small price to pay for the glory of immortal youth.
Javier hands me the other volume from the box. January 6th, 1600 to March 1st, 1831. Alaminos goes back and forth from Florida to the islands for centuries. No one notices this perpetually young Spanish sea captain. Most trips in those days were one way and you were lucky to survive. Pirates give him little trouble because he can outsail and outsneak them.
This is outrageous! This stupid! What gypsy sold you this story? Imbecile Washington Irving, stupid American ambassador to Spain, writes a book immortalizing Juan Ponce de Leon and his failure to find my fountain. Juan Ponce was nothing without me on his ship. I know. I will change my name to Juan Ponce and then give cruises to the tourists. They have money. I can fool them. Even you, Irving, you keep your stupid book. I will find a bunch of rich and famous northerners to invest in a youthful fountain exhibition here. Hey, if they're so taken by it, why not? Set sail for St. Augustine! And how come you don't talk to me no more?
We hear a click again. We can't believe it. Once more, Javier pushes me under the table and dives to shut off the light. The lights come on. The Manolo Blahniks are back. But this time, they're followed by a worn, scuffed pair of shoes. The pant hems are slightly frayed, but neatly pressed. These shoes stop a lot further from Teresa than the last pair of shoes did. I told you very specifically and clearly not to let Javier out of your sight, ever. Do you realize the police consider him the #1 suspect? Rodrigo, reschedule your night off. Please, I can't trust anyone on the staff except you. That must make you feel very special. Please, Madame Teresa, I am planning to propose to my girlfriend this evening. Everything is perfectly arranged. If anything happens, I'm blaming you. Teresa exits. Rodrigo stays there, motionless. I hear sniffles and a small, controlled sob. I hear him sigh heavily and blow his nose. Rodrigo glides out, shutting the lights behind him. I reflect on Rodrigo's difficult position for much too long. The lights come on again, startling me. Javier's getting good at maneuvering between the bookcase and the light switch. Javier hugs me like a returning soldier hugs his wife. Refugees reuniting with family know this hug. It's the hug that vows never to let go for so long ever again. Javier, why does she hate you so much? Long story. Javier, did you sleep with her? The hug abruptly ends, and we get the long pause that means yes, no matter how disguised it is. No, not really. Well, kind of. Yes, God. Yes, I mean, she sleeps with all the bodyguards here. It's like a weird tradition or something. I can't believe you're asking me this. What does it matter? How many guys you slept with since you dumped me? I didn't dump you. You left after the NFL draft, remember? You didn't answer my question. Ave Maria Santissima, we were doing so well here. Two guys. Do you want their names? All right. So we're even. Let's move on, okay? Move on! Sure. Why not? Intelligent, beautiful, one of the world's richest women. Yes, I can see why he did it. That was always the hard part for me. Javier and other women. I could just see her now, making a pass at him, inviting him up to her waiting room, wearing a lacy Victoria's Secret bra and thong with a matching garter belt under a slinky black dress, locking the door behind him, letting the slinky black dress slide down her body, carefully peeling his t-shirt up and over his head and shoulders, her perfectly manicured hands quickly and expertly unbuckling his belt, sliding those hands down his pants. I can't take it anymore! And I realize that if I want to stay in the game, as Javier would say, I need to find this fountain. I'm running out of time. In a few years, no one is going to want me peeling t-shirts or sliding my hands down anything. I mean, it's not like they're breaking down the door right now and it's just going to get worse. I need to find this map. What map? You mean like this? And he pulls a map sticking out of a box right in front of me. It's amazing how blind I am right now. We unfurl a crudely hand-drawn map showing sections of swamp near the meeting of two rivers. Up one inlet and to the west, there is a small cross with two cherubs. A ring of 5 trees drawn in the shape of a circle. Oh, I know this is the map. I'm taking this map. Well, I'm coming with you. I don't want you to get lost or eaten by alligators or anything. And if this is for real, I need it too. We argue about how to get the map out of the building. Should we thank Rodrigo or avoid Rodrigo? Whose car do we take? We argue about everything, down to how much Javier sweats when he's nervous. So I end up wrapping the map around my waist and untucking my shirt to hide it. It rests there like an ill-fitting corset waiting to fall off at any moment. Our exit from the battleship kitchen is a mess. Yeah, just in time. The last is almost ready. Hello, yeah, I'm talking to you. Hey, come back? Yeah. No one leaves this kitchen without eating the meal that I have prepared for them. No one! I called in sick at work again today. Javier knows a lot of these swamps from the fishing trips he and his dad and his brother used to take. Javier recognized the river. He thinks we're being followed. That Esa's persecution has made him paranoid, or I guess it would make anyone paranoid. But I'm still mad at him. He can have his NFL. I'm going to be young again. I'll have my 25-year-old face and body back. I'll have the wisdom and maturity I now have at 40. I'll be unstoppable. Even the Botox queen will have to give me some credit. That bitch. She has everything going for her. At least now I'll be able to compete. Javier's working hard. We don't want to get stuck out here after dark. But I am equipped with 3 plastic gallon jugs. I am getting as much of his fountain water as I can carry. I wish it were as easy as going to that stupid tourist trap, but of course, it's never that easy. Hello, we're here already. I don't dignify that comment with a reply. I see that my end of the canoe, the front, has hit some questionable bit of land. There is a ring of 5 trees, just like on the map. Yo, you're in the front of the canoe. I ain't getting into this much swamp water for anything, even if it means eternal youth. Well, I managed to get out of the canoe without capsizing it. Javier exits the canoe gracefully. Show off. I stand in the ring of 5 trees with a compass, determining due west. Javier is temporarily distracted.
Hijo de la gran puta! What is your problem? Is Teresa? Shut up, she's following us.
Javier has that category 5 look in his eyes. It's fear, it's anger, it's never good. In slow motion, I see Javier run towards the canoe, tie a string from a low-lying branch to the front of the canoe, capsizing and sinking it completely into the water. The tree branch bends low, hiding most of the string in the water.
What the fuck are you doing?
Javier covers my mouth with his hands. I hear that voice. It's Teresa. She's furious. The voice that belongs to the immaculate pair of pinstripe pants is trying to calm her down, but it's not working.
Alexa, go!
Hi. No matter what happens, don't make a sound. Now do not come out until I come looking for you. Now go! I hide inside the half-hollowed-out base of one of the largest trees. I hear Javier hide the plastic jugs behind one tree and his squishy steps running. Then I hear nothing, just the swamp sounds. An occasional bird or splash. An hour passes. Is the light of the swamp getting dimmer, or is it just my imagination? Then I hear quiet steps in the mud. Do you see their canoe anywhere, Sherlock?
Well, no, but...
Well, then they obviously missed the landmark and moved on. If I'm really lucky, they'll never get out of here.
Really, Trace, we've got to at least call the ranger station and tell them to search.
What are you going to tell them? That a suspected murderer and his co-conspirator are...
Look, Teresa, the police no longer consider him a suspect. They've told you that at the last 3 meetings. They just fire him and be done with it.
Oh, don't interrupt me. And put that cell phone down before I shoot it out of your hands.
Really, Teresa, you take the poor bloke much too seriously. Grow up, will you?
I don't know if he's alive.
Bugger! Jesus bloody Christ, you fucking cow!
He's alive. They swear better than Cubans do. Back in the boat, now! I hear them speed away. Teresa has been here before. I wonder if drinking from the fountain has ruined her sanity. I wonder if her former personal assistant will be okay. I wonder how long Javier has been calling my name. I'm okay. I'm okay. I look at the bloodied fragments of a cell phone. I save them in case Teresa's former personal assistant will be needing evidence later on. I feel like I'm being watched. Did you just hear someone say welcome? Javier jumps between me and the voice, knocking me over onto the muddy ground.
Ay, como me gusta sorprenderles!
Alexa, did you just hear someone say that they like to surprise us? We follow the voice to the raised roots of an enormous mangrove tree. Oh my God. We're in Lord of the Rings. And we discover most indigenous woman we have ever seen.
Oh, English! Sorry! You look Spanish to me. Well, whatever you are, I know what you want. You want what they all want. The fountain. Well, my dears, youth is not always a blessing, and age is not always a curse. A mature wine has its own beautiful taste. Pero cuidado, be careful. Only blood sacrificed by your line can spare you if you drink from these waters.
I look at a small trickle of water rippling out from one of the raised branches. It falls onto a primitive stone cross. I set one of the jugs under the trickle. It looks like it'll take a whole hour to fill the gallon. I don't care. I have nothing but time now.
Alexa, no, stop it. Didn't you hear the part about the blood sacrifice?
Javier is trembling.
The Category 5 look is back. Twice in one day, that's bad.
Javier is chickening out on me. I don't know what to do.
Get a grip.
You'll be fine. Don't you want to have your 25-year-old body back so you can play ball? You'll never have to worry about blowing out your knees or your groin muscles.
Alexa, I don't care about my knees and my groin muscles. She said blood sacrificed by your line. That means kids, aunts, uncles, parents, grandparents. Does that mean we have to sacrifice them? Look at what happened to Alaninos. He lost his whole family. No one noticed when he changed his name. Hey, no one noticed when he went missing until I got back from my week off and I started asking questions about what he would be needing. Like, was he going to the tennis courts or to the golf course or whatever? Because no one cared. And you know what? He never changed. We don't care about things that never change. They fade into the background and we forget about them. I can't do this to myself. And I can't let you do that to yourself. Silly Spaniards! Oh no, man. We're Americans. Spaniard, American, English are all the same to me. Blind, blind, blind. Every single one of you. You two are a little better, but not much. At least you ask the right questions. At least you listen carefully. The others did not ask. They did not see. They suffered.
How many have there been?
6. 3 Spaniard, 2 English, 1 French. All crazy. All dead now, except 1.
Oh, wow. About the blood sacrifice and the lying thing, I don't think I really understand about it.
Blood sacrifice, simple! You drink from these waters. You stay at your peak of youth. You do not learn lessons others around you learn as they grow older. You do not live life the way they do. You do not mature. Your children will get older than you. They will learn and surpass you. They will grow old and content. You will not. They will pass away. Perhaps this will make you unhappy. Perhaps you will wish to end your life. You cannot. Only one with your blood in their veins must sacrifice you. That is the only end you can make. The only way to be free.
I look at the hand that held the water, the jug under the water. Some of the water trickled onto a blister I had from paddling. The blister is almost healed. The hand looks a lot less weathered than the other one, which Javier suddenly pulls.
Alexa, forget about the fountain. I can't promise you you're never going to get wrinkles and gray hair. Shit, I'm getting them too. But we can grow old together. And we walk arm in arm through the parks and we'll sit on the benches and we will laugh at the people hurrying past us because we won't have to care what they think.
I look at the old lady and she nods and slowly recedes into the swamp. I'm confronted with the hardest decision I've ever had to make. Harder than quitting med school. Harder than breaking up with Javier. Do I take a chance on eternal youth and be content for centuries with what I knew and felt at 25? Never have to worry about slowing down, running out of time, my body betraying me little by little? Would it be worth it? Or do I take the greater challenge and grow old with someone I love? I know what you want to know. And the answer is yes, and it was great. Better than before. Javier and I promised never to stay so mad at each other for so long ever again. Back in the palace, we apologized to Albertina for skipping out on lunch 2 days ago. Don't let it happen again. Okay, you may get up. And be aware, Rodrigo has quit, so there is no one to protect you from Teresa. Back in the secret room, it's much emptier. Most of the books and pictures are gone. A few survive, saved in a little cardboard box on the table. An amazing part of American history, probably burned up into ashes. I put the map back in the box. Javier gives me a hug and a kiss as I take one last look at the map. And then that dreaded click! I dive under the table. Javier lunges to shut off the lights, but he can't hide behind the bookcases because they're empty. He panics and dives under the table, but the lights come on and it's too late. There's a familiar ass. Get out right now. Javier motions for me to stay still and crawls out from underneath the table. You took it, didn't you? Took what? The map. You can't possibly be this stupid. I borrowed it and I brought it back. I didn't steal it, if that's what you mean. Javier, I find your antics intolerable. I'm going to have to let you go. You can't fire me. I work for the De Leons, not you. Javier, I run the corporation now, and as their only surviving relative, I can safely say that I represent what is in the best interest of their legacy, and you are certainly not part of that. You could have been, but you chose not to. Hey, what you mean surviving? The cops find their bodies? They're not coming back, Javier. Don't waste your time when you're not wanted. I can't take this anymore. Teresa, how exactly are you related? And how exactly do you know that they are not coming back? What on earth is going on here of you and Javier? Oh, Javier, don't tell me your self-esteem has sunk that low. Oh, you, whatever your name is, both of you, get out now or I will have you arrested. Go ahead, call the police. What are they going to think? You now control the corporation. The De Leons happened to disappear while the head bodyguard was off. I am amazed you pulled it off. Oh, really? This is the most amateurish investigation I have ever seen. You have no evidence. All the evidence we need is on the maps. Fingerprints, DNA samples. Hey, why don't we show the police these maps? I go for the map, but Teresa lunges, scoops up the whole box, cradling it in her arms. I noticed the label on the box. Botox! That's it! Thank God! It all fits! Javier, did you know that Botox is actually the same bacteria that causes botulism or severe food poisoning, and in extreme cases, death? And Teresa, did you know that the elderly couple found dead just outside this premises died of food poisoning, according to the official autopsy report? And that the box you hold now could contain enough of the bacteria to cause alarm on the part of the detectives? I had a Botox party a month ago, and I refused to discuss this without my attorneys present. They won't understand that it was a sacrifice, that it was the only way. You've been to the fountain! I knew it, that idiot. Well, that old lady doesn't know anything. I am handling this much better than my aunt and uncle ever did. Well, that may be, but that ain't the kind of defense any jury is ever going to believe. Did you drink it? Didn't help you much, did it? No, I didn't. Because if I had, I would be tearing your hair out right now instead of trying to understand you. And I'm going to mature, unlike you. You are a piece of work. You know that. You are getting old and you don't know the rules. If you are not young, you are nothing. Who Who wants to be with a withered old woman when they could be with a young, beautiful woman? And you are well on your way to withered. Youth is beauty, and beauty is power. I can't believe you walked away from it. Teresa, in 20 years, what anniversaries are you going to be celebrating? Who is going to look back on your life and be impressed and inspired by your achievements? What family members are going to come to you for advice as if you had something to say? Because even if you did, who would understand it except some mutant like you that cheated time? Because everyone and everything else in this universe is moving on and learning and growing except you. Now, Javier will need severance pay. He'll need a year's salary over my dead body. Not an option for you. You're looking at life for murder. And that's a long time for you, isn't it? I don't have time for all of this. Ha! Teresa, all you have is time. For us, time is short. So we need to move on with this. Now, Javier will be back tomorrow to pick up his things and his check. Or I could stop by the police station. I have a cell phone I think they'd love to look at. Fine. Neither one of you are worth the trouble. Have a nice life. I know I will. I made sure to hold Javier's hand right in front of her as we left. Hey, mamita, you was something else in there, but you lied, didn't you? I mean, you can't get fingerprints off a map. Ay, Javier, el diablo sabe más por viejo que por diablo. The devil knows more by being old than by being the devil. I thought if I scared her a little bit, it would all come out. I had no clue until I saw the label on the box. Thank God for the Botox, huh? Yeah, thank God for the Botox. Boy, what am I saying? Promise me you will never use that shit, all right? I promise. I can't afford it anyway. I gotta save my money to go back to school. How else am I ever going to become the world's oldest med student? Time passed. Teresa never went to court. The De Leon case is still officially unsolved. Javier got his severance pay. We bought a house. We got married. I finally went back to school. Teresa sold her holdings in the company and moved into seclusion. Somewhere in South America, last I heard. I think about her from time to time. I wonder what she's up to, if she's still alive. She was right. Youth and beauty are powerful, but